Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Before I get this lesson started, here we are again, man. This is just crazy. Only of all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully elect 144,000, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect men of Yasharallah, or the elect spirits of Yasharallah, to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah, with just some insight. This is the Jimmy Dore Show. These Edomites, they do a lot of the fulfilling of the prophecy. Their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. They're being used to expose the hypocrisy, not only with their own people, but the hypocrisy within themselves. Because even though they're showing you the catastrophic results of the crimes against humanity that their own people in rulership are imposing on the earth, on the Israelites, and on the other nations of the earth, and on their own people, they still sell shit. They still, this dude, the Jimmy, he'll still fucking advertise his fucking comedic concerts. He's still promoting himself. They don't ever speak the actual words of prophecy, or they never give glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yosai. They're ranting, right? They're monetizing the wickedness of their own people, posing as some, ray of light, exposing the darkness. And I mean, they do a good job, but it's always surface level with these people. They can never go all the way into prophecy because they're not the Hebrew Israelites. So listen to some of these stats they're pulling out, or just this information, and we'll pull some precepts, revealing who the man of sin is. Esau, Edom, with the head tribe of Amalek, is the man of sin. It's not a Nephilim Antichrist. It's a seed line, a race of people that Malachi 1 verses 3 through 4 says is the border of wickedness, and that is Edom. The Edomites, the nation of Edom, is called the border of wickedness, and a border of a nation separates it from other nations. So when the Spirit of the Most High, Yahweh, is calling Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness, what he is saying is that entire seed line, from the highest ranking top 1% to the lowest Joe Six-Pack Edomite, they are all wicked.
Yes. And so here is the Qatar Prime Minister confirms that the United States put the Hamas office in Doha.
You have a Hamas office here, and Hamas has been designated, I think, repeatedly by the U.S. government, certainly by the Congress, as a terror organization. And people say, well, how could you have a Hamas office here? What is that?
We have to go back to the root of this office. Like, why it's here in the first place. And Hamas office, when it was opened here in the first place, it was opened with full transparency and full consultation, and actually even request from the U.S.
The U.S. asked you to put a Hamas office here?
They have asked us to open the...
And every time you hear United States, the U.S., or the West, who are they talking about? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Words like the rich, or the Democrats, or the Republicans, or the right, or the left, the United States, the U.S., the West, that's the so-called white man. They're the ones with the power, man. It's the so-called white man.
Channels with them, and to have an established communication channel with the same case what was applied to Taliban as well. At the end of the day, if you have a presence of someone in your country and you are engaging and talking, it doesn't mean that you are endorsing his ideas. It doesn't mean that you are supporting him. The purpose of this office was to facilitate peace, to stabilize the region, and to make sure that always it's serving the purpose.
Friend of the show, Ryan Grimm, reports, here's what just happened. Trump sent a peace deal to Hamas. Hamas met to discuss it in Doha, where the U.S. is mediating talks and has a base, and Israel bombed them.
So look at this. This is that story they're talking about. This is Hamas claims leadership survived Israeli attack in Doha, but confirms 6 deaths. So it's written by David Gritton and Paul Adams, I guess. So this was September 10th. Right? I guess the same day that supposedly the Charlie dude got shot in the neck. Palestinian armed group Hamas has said 5 of its members were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Qatar's capital, but claimed that an attempt to assassinate its negotiating team failed. Hamas said the negotiating team was meeting to discuss the latest U.S. proposal, the so-called white man proposal. They proposed this for a ceasefire in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, as a residential compound in Doha, at a residential compound in Doha when it was badly damaged by a series of explosions. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strike was fully justified. Oh, what? Because it targeted senior Hamas leaders who organized the 7th October 2023 attack on Israel. So the Amalekites, the head tribe of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, because the Amalekites are white men too, they're Edomites, they're using October 7th. It's 2025, you guys. And how many people have they got? But they're using just it's like a video game where you keep pushing the one button and it's the same move over kickflip, just fucking kickflipping. Everyone, but the kickflip is like a really powerful fucking kickflip, and it just knocks people over and they die. They just keep doing the same fucked up, devastating, wicked move over and over and over. You did something to me, I gotta keep, and the something that we did to them or someone did to them is something that they fucking fabricated themselves. It's the same shit. Listen.
Presumably with U.S. support. The strike in Doha was aimed at Hamas negotiators who were gathered to discuss Trump's...
So Edomites in America set up an appointment for them, and then it'd be like, hey, it'd be like me. Let's say me. We got 3 people, right? It's me and someone else, and then the third person. And I call the third person on the phone saying, hey, come over here and meet me at the bar. We're going to have some beers and some chicken wings, and we're going to talk about this. Let's get this figured out. And person number 2, who's my buddy, he's going to already be in the bar, but he'll be sitting in the back in the corner hidden. And as me and this person sit down, right, to have chicken wings and beer, I got the table set up, right? I got my back facing against the wall, and the person comes down and sits behind me, or sits in front of me to have wings and beer. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about peace. And then my buddy comes from the corner and stabs this fucker in the back while we're sitting at the table. That's exactly what fucking happened, man.
Ceasefire offer, according to a Hamas official speaking to Al Jazeera, much as Trump carried out fake nuclear talks with Iran in order to kill Iranian negotiators. That might explain why Trump's offer was so short.
And these are the same race of people that are in America telling you guys that so-called black men and so-called Latino men are the problem for the world, are the reason for the problems of the world. Same fucking race of people. Same race of people threatening HBCU colleges because a fucking white boy, Edomite, got shot by another white boy in Utah. But they want to take that shit out. Do you guys see how fucking this shit, what the scriptures say about Esau Edom, it's the truth.
And scant on details. The whole point was to gather people together to discuss the peace offer so they could get them all together and kill them. Israel is taking credit for the attack, citing October 7th, though most of all Doha didn't even know about 10/7 until it happened. IDF and so this is what the IDF and ISA announced. The IDF and ISA conducted a precise strike targeting the senior leadership of the Hamas terrorist organization as they were at peace negotiations. For years, these members of Hamas leadership have led the terrorist organization's operations, are directly responsible for the brutal October 7th massacre, and have been orchestrating and managing the war against the state of Israel. Prior to the strike, measures were taken in order to mitigate harm to civilians. You know how Israel likes to mitigate harm to civilians, including the use of precise munitions and additional intelligence. The IDF, the ISA will continue to operate with determination in order to defeat Hamas terrorists. So you're not supposed to do that at a peace negotiation. This is becoming the Trump signature.
Let's just get it real quick. Let's get the fucking precepts. They speak loftily concerning oppression. I believe that's Psalm 73. They speak loftily, proudly. Meaning they never admit when they're wrong. They're never sorry. They gaslight you. This goes into that, man. When you're speaking proudly concerning oppression, okay? Look, Psalms 73:8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. It's always your fault while I'm hitting you. It's your fault while you're a slave to me. It's your fault why I can't keep my word to you. It's because you did something. You're always wrong. What did Esau do to us during slavery? They accused us of being animals. They accused us of not feeling pain. They accused us of not needing much sleep to justify why we didn't need to have much sleep. We need to be working. To justify why they could beat the shit out of us because we can't feel pain. We're animals. It was always our fault, man. Everything. Since we've been around, and what's that go into? He's the accuser. He's the fucking accuser of the brethren. Christianity says this is Satan, the prince demon. No, it's the so-called fucking white man and his categories. His what do you call it? His science. His fucking what are they, the pseudoscience, going in the new science, and his pseudo medical fucking accusations of we are an inferior race, we're mentally immoral, or we're more immoral to them because our skin is dark. All these weird things, bro. When the scriptures say he is the wicked, okay, the accuser of the brethren, and they take the same accusational strategy with the heathen nations. Revelations 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, talking about in the rulership, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. That's not talking about the prince demon Satan. This lines up with Isaiah 63, 1-4, Revelations 12, Lamentations 4, 21 and 22, Obadiah. Dude, this is talking about the fucking white man. Because this race and this race alone is the only race of people going around the entire fucking earth accusing the Hebrew Israelites and all the other heathen nations on why there's something wrong with them and why we got to do fucked up shit to you. And they're trying to convince us that everybody else is bad while they're literally at war with everyone right now. They're fighting with us. They're fighting with the northern kingdom. They're fighting with the southern kingdom. They're fighting with women. They're fighting with everybody all across the globe, you guys. Yet you got Russia, China, Iran. They're all coming together. They're coming together, yet the so-called white man's fighting and bumping heads with everybody, and he's telling you that everyone's wrong, but he's the one that's right. How the fuck does that work, man?
Your move, the same modus operandi he used with Iran, now deployed against Hamas, pretending he wanted to engage in diplomacy as a trap to facilitate bombing them. So you know what this...
So what does this go into? Two things. His words were smooth like oil. Look, his words, why does it line up? His words were smooth like oil, right? Smooth. But war was in his heart, like oil. But war was in his heart. Should be in the Psalms. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, in his mind. He was telling you one thing when he was already plotting against you. This is the so-called white man. He's done it with us, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, constantly doing it. Trump, when I get in the office, the price of eggs, everything is the opposite's happened. And it's not just Trump, it's every goddamn fucking president. Why? Because it's the Edomite way. It's the system of the seven-headed red dragon, which is the Roman Empire, which is the Edomite rulership. This is how they get down. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
What this means is that no one's ever going to enter into a peace negotiation again with the United States because they're going to fear they're going to be bombed.
And the United States is talking about the so-called white man because that's the race that's doing all this shit. It's not us. It's not the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and blacks. It's the fucking Edomites.
Why did they ever? When has the United States kept a treaty that you...
bombing them. So you know what this...
Listen to what this fucker just says. Listen to this dumbass that's on this. This guy's an idiot. From your own mouth, by your own confession. Let me see. By your own confession, I will condemn you. I will condemn you. Let me see. I'm paraphrasing it. By your own words, you shall be acquitted. Dang, hold up. I wasn't looking for that one, but there it is, Yahushua. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned. Damn. We're just gonna stick it. We're just gonna leave it with the head prophet. This is the prophet of the highest. Okay, the only begotten Son of Yahweh, Yahushua, our King, our most beloved elder brother. Look, Matthew 12:37. I'm gonna be honest. I was looking for something somewhere either in Psalms or in 1st or 2nd Kings, or 1st and 2nd Samuel when King David said it. But listen to Yahushua. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Now listen to what this fucker says.
What this means is that no one's ever going to enter into a peace negotiation again with the United States because they're going to fear they're going to be bombed.
Why did they ever? When has the United States kept a treaty that you can recall? I can't.
So is that no one's ever going to enter into a peace negotiation again with the United States because they're going to fear they're going to be bombed.
Why did they ever? When has the United States kept a treaty that you can recall? I can't.
So here's what, is they're going to fear they're going to be bombed.
Why did they ever? When has the United States kept a treaty that you can recall? I can't.
So here's what Arno says. He says, which reinforces the precedent. Engaging in diplomacy with the United States is now worse than useless. It's actually fatal, which is a precedent that's bad for everyone. This is why it's bad for the United States. U.S. first and foremost, not exactly in its interest to teach the lesson, never negotiate with America, because that's what Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are doing.
Which goes into what? Never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy, man. Boom. Never trust thine enemy. Let's just get the whole... Look at this. When that will... Okay, let me see. So look, read it. Never trust thine enemy. This is Ecclesiasticus, all right? 12. Verse 10 going down. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All it takes for iron to rust is a little bit of moisture. And it's so basically being on the planet Earth, because moisture is in the air, it's in the atmosphere, you literally have to cover and coat iron with oil, and you got to do it over and over again, or you got to mix it with another alloy, or there's a process. You got to coat it. You got to put something on it so that it doesn't rust, because the minute water or moisture touches it, it has a reaction. It's an elemental reaction. It's part of the way of how the Most High structured creation. And the Spirit is likening the enemy to an elemental reaction. There's no fucking way Esau can hide his wickedness. It's an elemental reaction when he comes into contact with the Hebrew Israelites, and when he comes into contact with the other nations. The fact that he is the border of wickedness, it all of a sudden begins to manifest. He's different. They're different when it comes to sin. They're way different, you guys. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, there goes those words of butter, those soft words of oil. We're white people. We have our beard shaved. Hey, man, we mean you no harm. We have suits and ties on the whole fucking time. The whole time they're fucking plotting to fucking hit you with fucking biological weapons, bro. They're gonna, hey, we got some new food we want you to eat. This is good. It's fast. It only takes 2 minutes in the microwave, and you fucking heat it. And the minute it heats up, the shit they put in the fucking food has a reaction to the heat, and now it has a fucking chemical change that when you eat it, you slowly develop cancer over time. Here's our medicines for your cancer. It takes away your pain. It doesn't fucking heal you, though. And they make billions. These fucking people, bro. 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Beware of him. He's the only nation on the planet Earth that doesn't have any melanin in his skin. On a solar-based planet system. It's a mark, you guys. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his wrath hath not been all the way wiped away. 12. Set him not by thee. Why? Lest when he hath overthrown thee, what is this going into? Him stealing? Him copycatting you? Eminem's the #1 hip-hop artist, you guys, on the planet Earth. He's never been shot at. He's never been oppressed by one cop. He's never gone through any of the shit that the other... And I'm not defending rap music. He hasn't been oppressed and warred upon like the Israelites have. But he's a #1 fucking hip-hop artist. And it's so with everything like this. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand. What are they doing right now with the controversy of Zion? They're on the planet Earth acting like they're us. They're telling the world they're the Jews. No, they're the Amalekites. They're the Edomites. They're telling the world they're the Christians. They're telling the world that Yahushua is Jesus and he looks like them. This is so much deeper than we realize, you guys. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? And they are the serpent. Or any such as come nigh wild beasts, and they're fucking animals. So one that goeth to a sinner, when you hang out with the Edomites, and is defiled with him in his sins, you start wanting to be like them. Look at our people now since segregation, since the coming together. When we were segregated in the 60s and 50s, our families were whole and complete. When we mingle with these fucking people, now you got Jakes wearing dresses on TikTok, bro. Our women want to be men. Everything that the Edomites do, we do. And we're not the same people, man.
Are right now teaching the world never negotiate with the United States, because if you try to negotiate with us, we're going to bomb you and kill you.
I'm going to have to put this on the world, Jimmy, because they should have learned that from Libya and Serbia and all the other multiple places that wanted to negotiate, that we double-crossed them.
They negotiate with us, we're going to bomb you and kill you.
I'm going to have to put this on the world, Jimmy, because they should have learned that from Libya and Serbia.
See how he's gaslighting? Oh, you should have knew better. Rather than admitting that they're a fucked up race of people, see, even though they're telling you guys the truth, they're still talking shit. They speak loftily concerning oppression. That is the very definition of that precept and prophecy that you guys are seeing right here on the screen. There's no repentance in these fuckers, man.
And all the other multiple places that wanted to negotiate, that we double-crossed and blew up anyway. Why do they not know this at this point?
So, and how bad is this? Even in medieval Europe, in the darkest days of the so-called Dark Ages, rulers were honor-bound not to violate diplomatic immunity, and common sense bound too, as they understood it wasn't in their interest to be known as oath breakers. Heck,
you're talking about Israel.
Heck, even the Mongols, not exactly known as sentimental humanitarians, understood that killing envoys was idiotic. Because it makes everyone less safe. And then you can never get to a peace deal.
The Mongols, as a matter of fact, did their most brutality for the crimes Israel just committed.
Yes.
That's when the Mongols got real brutal for that.
Let's say, remember Amalek? Remember Amalek. Amalek. Remember Amalek. Amalek. Let me see. Here we go. Beautiful. Look at this. The prophet Moses. Remember what Amalek did unto thee. By the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. We were a slave. We were slaves to Egypt. The Most High just used us to destroy Egypt, right? We're still getting our shit together. We don't have no law yet. We're still mentally stuck on Egypt. Believe it or not. Sad, but true. Even though Yahweh just used Moses and Aaron to destroy Egypt, we still didn't. We were still very much Egyptian in our worldview and our mannerisms because we were under their rulership for 400 fucking years. So we're coming out still dazed and confused from that, and Amalek attacks us from behind. How he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Therefore it shall be when Yahweh thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. This goes into Obadiah 1 and 18. This is going to happen in the future when Yahweh Shai takes full dominion over the earth and we have them in our power for 1,000 years. They're going to be wiped off the fucking earth. This nation of people has to be done like this because you see what they're fucking doing, and there's no difference between Amalek and the other Edomites. They're all the same family. Amalek is just the head tribe. The so-called Jews are the tribe of Amalek, and they are the same as white people. They're just the head tribe.
For that.
When the U.S. is failing a moral test that the Mongol Empire passed, it's time to ask ourselves a few questions. So we're worse than the Mongols. We're the terrorists. We're the psychopaths.
And this is why. Look, Malachi, they shall be called. They shall be called. They shall call them. They shall call them the border. They shall call them the border of wickedness. This crap of there's bad, there's good and bad people in every nation. Esau put that thought in your mind. No, the Bible tells you there's classifications of human beings. This shit that we're all fucking equal. This shit that men and women are equal. Esau put that fucking lie in here. Women are not equal to men. Just like nations are not equal to each other, you guys. Dolphins aren't equal to fucking great white sharks. Great white sharks aren't equal to fucking killer whales, bro. There are dominant species in the same. There's a dominant land species. There's dominant water species. There's dominant air species. There are different classifications of races of people. Okay? Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And the so-called white man has never taught the world that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has said there is a people in the earth that he hates forever. Because they are those people. I pray that this lesson was edifying.
Israel doesn't have things like honor. I mean, just even bring up honor. We're talking about Israel here. They will do literally anything. In fact, they're proud of it. And people go, well, don't they have to do absolutely anything? Including violate every...
I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. It's your brother Radah. Shalom.